They're using it for purpose-built reasons, using AI tools in your job on a daily basis, and also to streamline and also facilitate other components of your career. Marketing yourself. As an interpreter, you have to continuously market and go after new work. And these productivity tools are faster, sleeker, sexier. It's just, it frees you up to do the things that you really need to do and focus on, and that is be a professional linguist. Let's go to the next slide. And going back to my original point, my previous point on stewardship of the AI space, everybody was except for the software developers. I think a lot of folks were caught off guard. ChatGPT was released November 2022, I think was when it would. Yeah, right. Yeah. Think about where we've come to since November 2022. It's a very nascent technology. Government got caught out. The industry got caught out. Most of us in the profession got caught out. The few organizations that were building this, I mean, even Google and Microsoft got caught out and felt the pressure because OpenAI released something that was leaps and bounds superior to what they were working on. And so, to some extent, they had to play catch up as well. Now there's plenty of products out there. But what's also happened is government finally took notice. Government's always a little bit behind on these things, but compliance and stewardship and guardianship of making sure that safe, fair AI use is in place is now starting to gel and happen. And as interpreters and as language professionals, the onus is really on us to participate and get involved. There are standards organizations, ISO 5060, recently to give guidance on the evaluation of human translation output. And there are other standards that are being released shortly. There are organizations like Safe AI, which is effectively language industry professionals from all walks of life, all companies and all areas of the language business, who have come together to help set the pace and be poised for the future of AI use in the language industry. And then we've just seen the European legislation for the use of AI governance. The US has also just passed some recent legislation on that. Slow to the game, but it's finally happening, and it's countries, organizations are looking at it more carefully. They're taking ownership of it, and all of us could be part of that narrative, part of that future. It really, and as language professionals, it kind of naturally falls to us to be the vanguard of this technology. It really is. In my opinion, it's very important that we are engaged and that we are plugged into the evolution of this technology, because really it boils down to communication. Next slide. So what I would posit is that the time is now for us to look at the tools, see how we can balance the use of these new AI tools that are coming out. And gosh, I mean, there's so many really cool applications out there that you could spend hours and hours and days and weeks and months just digging into it. But it's up to you to sort of figure out where it fits into your toolkit and what how it helps you be a more productive interpreter. And yeah, and I guess my point with this slide was, you can either, the cat's out of the bag. That was my point with this slide. And then I typed into DALL-E and I said, you know what? I need a sad cat coming out of the bag, and then a happy cat coming out of the bag, and that. And please put a headset on that cat for me, please. The ubiquitous headset. So I would say, let's all be happy cats. It's natural to be cautious and apprehensive about anything that's new and worry about who's watching and who's guarding this technology. There are a lot of responsible folks in the technology sector who do care very, very much about making sure that it is a positive and what's the opposite word of dystopian future? Solarian, I think, is the word I heard thrown out there. It is a utopian, Solarian, not dystopian future for us in the use of Next slide. Next slide. So my final thoughts on this is go out there, see what works for you. It will be a tool to help. Oh, sorry. It will be a tool. I'm used to having the little things. I like to walk around. My point here is, it is a way to help differentiate yourself, grow your business, your career. There are some fantastic tools out there from a brand and marketing perspective. You really, if you want to, have a career and a future in language, AI is going to be part of that story. And where you begin that journey is by experimenting with these technologies and seeing what works. Some of them work great. Some of them are actually almost spooky good. And others, as they can see, they're okay. They have a long way to go. The technology, as a technology vendor, we kick the tires a lot. We take a long and measured view of these technologies. A lot of our colleagues have rushed things to market and have ended up with egg on their face because it just, fails. And, in this industry, you're only as good as your last trick. So you want to make sure that if you're building technology, that it's purpose-built. Don't just build something because you can. You build it because it is going to have an incremental quality of life improvement by using it for the interpreter, for the professional linguist, or for the end user's experience as well. And so again, my message is we are in a moment of accelerated times, but we shouldn't be afraid of it. We should take charge of it, and we should hold the vendors and the developers and the folks that are building this technology to as high a standard as we can. And it's our voices that make sure that happens. So that's my point.